Welcome to NPJR, where we explore the great outdoors one national park at a time. I'm Justin.
And I'm Robin. We encourage you to pause the podcast at any time and discuss some of our talking points or try answering our trail trivias. Today, we're heading to a landscape forged by volcanoes in Central California to explore Pinnacles National Park.
Nestled in the Salinas Valley region of Central California, Pinnacles National Park is a land of dramatic rock spires, deep canyons, and rare wildlife. This park, which covers just over 26,000 acres, making it the sixth smallest national park by acreage, saw over 354,000 visitors in 2024. Pinnacles is known for its distinctive geological formations, tall, jagged peaks that rise from the chaparral-covered hills like sentinels of a forgotten world. These formations are the namesake of the park, called Pinnacles. They are remnants of an ancient volcanic field that has undergone millions of years of tectonic movement, weathering, and erosion. Over time, the erosion carved out the dramatic cliffs, caves, and spires that define the landscape today.
The geological history of Pinnacles dates back approximately 23 million years. During the Miocene epoch, volcanic activity in what is now Southern California produced a complex field of lava flows, ash deposits, and volcanic breccia. The San Andreas Fault, a major tectonic boundary, later tore this field apart, moving a large portion northwestward over millions of years. The pinnacles we see today are part of this displaced segment, originally located near present-day Lancaster. The fault's relentless activity transported the rock formations some 195 miles north to their current location. They're still moving today at a rate of about 0.6 inches or 1.5 centimeters per year.
Long before European settlers arrived, the area now known as Pinnacles National Park was home to indigenous peoples who lived in harmony with the land. The Shillone and Mutsun branches of the Ohlone people inhabited this region, making use of the diverse ecosystems for food, medicine, and shelter. These communities thrived in the oak woodlands and creekside areas, hunting deer and rabbits, gathering acorns, and using native plants for healing.
Archaeological evidence, including stone tools, bedrock mortars, and fire pits, indicates that these peoples had a deep and enduring connection to the landscape. The pinnacles were not only a resource base, but also a place of spiritual significance. With the arrival of Spanish missions in the 18th century, the traditional way of life for the Shillone and Mutsun peoples were forever altered. Many were relocated to missions such as San Juan Bautista, where they faced forced labor, disease, and cultural suppression. Today, descendants of these groups work to preserve their heritage and promote understanding of their history within the park.
The striking beauty and unique geological features of Pinnacles began attracting attention in the late 19th century. In 1908, President Theodore Roosevelt designated the area as Pinnacles National Monument under the Antiquities Act, primarily to protect its unusual rock formations. Over the years, the monument grew through additional land acquisitions, spurred by both scientific interest and recreational use.
In 2013, after a long campaign led by conservationists, local residents, and lawmakers, Pinnacles was officially designated as a national park. This new status elevated the park's profile and brought greater resources for preservation, research, and visitor services. Today, Pinnacles stands as one of the newest units in the National Park Service system, offering visitors a rich tapestry of natural and cultural history.
Although Pinnacles is not known for large bodies of water, its hydrology plays a crucial role in sustaining life in this semi-arid region. Seasonal creeks like Bear Gulch Creek and Shillone Creek flow through the park, providing essential moisture during the wet winter and spring months. These waterways support a variety of plant and animal life and help to recharge the groundwater system.
Bear Gulch Reservoir, a small man-made lake created by a dam built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s, is one of the few standing bodies of water in the park. It offers a scenic and beautiful spot for visitors and serves as a vital habitat for amphibians and birds. During the dry summer months, water becomes scarce, and many of the park's smaller streams run dry, making the wet season crucial for the ecosystem's survival.
Flora and fauna. For being one of the smallest national parks, Pinnacles has an impressive catalog of plants and animals. It is a biodiversity hotspot, home to over 1,000 species of plants and animals. Its varied topography and climate zones, from chaparral and oak woodlands to talus caves and high rock spires, create numerous microhabitats that support an array of life forms. Among the park's fauna, the California condor is the most famous. Pinnacles is one of the few places in the U.S. where these critically endangered birds are being reintroduced into the wild.
Visitors may also see falcons, golden eagles, bobcats, gray foxes, Merriam's chipmunk, and even the elusive mountain lion. The park's caves house colonies of Townsend's big-eared bats, which are sensitive to disturbance and protected by seasonal closures. The park has insects, amphibians, reptiles, fish, birds, and mammals. According to the NPS website, while several types of snakes live in Pinnacles, the Pacific rattlesnake is the only venomous species. Flora includes blue oak, coast live oak, manzanita, gray pine, and various wildflowers such as California poppies, lupines, and Mariposa lilies. The springtime bloom is particularly spectacular, drawing photographers and botanists from across the world.
Though frequently overlooked, invertebrates account for thousands of wildlife species at Pinnacles National Park. Trail trivia. What percentage of animal species on Earth are invertebrates? According to butterflies.org, 97%. Lacking bones, teeth, fur, or feathers, these creatures are fascinating. Many possess intricate and extraordinary life histories, often more unusual than those of larger animals, and are typically more accessible for observation and study. A survey conducted in the late 1990s identified approximately 400 species of bees at Pinnacles, giving the park the highest known bee diversity per unit area in the world.
Although butterfly diversity is comparatively lower, with around 70 recorded species, it's not uncommon to see hundreds fluttering through the landscape on a single day under ideal conditions. The park is also home to over 500 documented moth species, with estimates suggesting the total may surpass 1,000. Additionally, around 250 species of aquatic invertebrates have been recorded, including 41 species of dragonflies and damselflies. Despite these impressive numbers, many invertebrate groups in the park remain largely unstudied and await further exploration.
According to the NPS website, Pinnacles is home to several endemic invertebrates rarely or never found anywhere else. One is the Pinnacles shieldback katydid, a 2-centimeter wingless, dark gray insect that is active at night and feeds on California buckwheat flowers. Another is the Pinnacles riffle beetle, a tiny, brown beetle measuring 2 millimeters. They inhabit the fast-moving waters of Shaloney Creek. The 5 main groups of invertebrates are 1. Insects, like ants, beetles, and flies. 2. Crustaceans, like shrimp, crabs, woodlice, and lobsters. 3. Mollusks, such as snails, slugs, and octopuses. 4. Arachnids, like spiders, scorpions, mites, and ticks. And 5. Annelids, such as earthworms and leeches.
Although capturing and preserving invertebrates is a standard method of study, this practice is prohibited at Pinnacles National Park without a scientific collecting permit. Instead, visitors are encouraged to observe these remarkable creatures in their natural surroundings using close focus binoculars. With 8 times magnification, objects 8 feet away appear as if they are just 1 foot away, ideal for watching a bee collect pollen, a butterfly drink nectar, or a tarantula wasp on the hunt.
The coast live oak, a keystone of California's coastal ecosystems. The coast live oak is one of California's most iconic and ecologically important native trees. Found primarily along the Pacific coast, from Northern California to Baja California, this evergreen oak plays a central role in the structure and function of coastal ecosystems. Its dense, sprawling canopy, twisted branches, and leathery, spiny-edged leaves make it instantly recognizable and deeply integrated into the cultural and natural history of the region.
Coast live oaks are medium to large evergreen trees that typically reach heights of 20 to 70 feet with equally wide spreads. They have a rounded crown, thick bark, and dark green leaves. Unlike deciduous oaks, coast live oaks retain their foliage year-round, allowing them to continuously photosynthesize and support a stable habitat for wildlife.
One of the most distinctive features of coast live oak is its remarkable drought tolerance. The tree has deep, extensive root systems that tap into underground water sources, making it highly adapted to California's Mediterranean climate of wet winters and dry summers. Its leaves are coated with a waxy cuticle and often curve downward to reduce water loss, a vital adaptation for survival during extended dry periods.
Coast live oaks are most commonly found in coastal foothills and valleys, thriving in well-drained soils from sea level up to elevations of about 5,000 feet. They grow in a range of habitats including oak woodlands, mixed evergreen forests, and savannas. The species often dominates the canopy layer, shaping the microclimate below by providing shade and regulating soil moisture.
These oaks are frequently associated with other native plants such as California bay laurel and manzanita. Their fallen leaves and acorns contribute to the forest floor's rich organic matter, supporting a dynamic understory and a wide variety of fungi and microorganisms.
As a keystone species, the coast live oak supports a vast array of wildlife. Its acorns are a vital food source for many animals, including deer, turkeys, woodpeckers, squirrels, and jays, particularly the acorn woodpecker, which famously stores acorns in holes drilled into tree trunks. The dense canopy provides nesting sites and shelter for birds, while cavities in older trees offer homes for owls, bats, and other small mammals.
The tree also fosters complex ecological relationships below ground. It forms symbiotic associations with mycorrhizal fungi, which enhance nutrient uptake and soil stability. This underground network contributes to the resilience of the broader plant community, especially during droughts or environmental stress.
For thousands of years, indigenous peoples of California, including the Chumash, Ohlone, and Tongva, relied on coast live oaks for food and resources. Acorns were a dietary staple, leached of tannins, and ground into a flour to make nutritious meals. The wood was used for tools, fuel, and construction, and the trees held ceremonial significance in many cultures.
Spanish missionaries and early settlers also recognized the value of these trees, using them for building materials and livestock forage. Today, coast live oaks are emblematic of California's heritage, featured in artwork, literature, and as treasured elements of the landscape.
Despite their resilience, coast live oaks face numerous threats. Urban development and land conversion have significantly reduced their habitat, particularly in Southern California. Invasive species, including non-native grasses and pathogens, pose ongoing challenges. One of the most serious threats is sudden oak death, caused by the pathogen Phytophthora ramorum, which has devastated oak populations in some areas.
Conservation efforts are underway to monitor populations, manage disease spread, and protect remaining oak woodlands through land preservation and ecological restoration. The coast live oak is far more than a tree. It is a foundational species that shapes entire ecosystems, sustains wildlife, and connects human communities to the land's history. Preserving this iconic oak is essential not only for maintaining biodiversity, but also for honoring the deep cultural roots it symbolizes. As California continues to confront environmental challenges, the enduring presence of coast live oak serves as a living reminder of the intricate balance between nature, history, and resilience.
Tarantulas, a seasonal marvel. An autumn visit to Pinnacles often rewards observant visitors with a glimpse of one of the park's most fascinating creatures, the tarantula. September and October mark the peak of tarantula activity when mature males wander both day and night in search of a mate. These determined spiders inspect every promising burrow in hopes of finding a receptive female ready to lay her eggs in a carefully prepared nest.
For the rest of the year, tarantulas are far less visible, though still present. Typically, they remain tucked away in underground burrows, venturing out only at night to hunt. If you examine the ground closely, you might spot small, silk-lined holes, an indicator that a tarantula may be lurking within. It is surprising how small of an opening a full-grown tarantula can occupy.
These spiders are often seen crossing roads, particularly during mating season. Please adhere to posted speed limits and remain vigilant to avoid harming tarantulas and other wildlife. Tarantulas feed on a wide variety of invertebrates and may occasionally consume small reptiles, amphibians, and even rodents. They subdue prey by injecting digestive enzymes, then use powerful jaws to mash the tissue and consume the resulting liquid. After a large meal, a tarantula can go several months without eating again.
Tarantulas, in turn, are preyed upon by snakes, birds, lizards, and their most notorious nemesis, the tarantula hawk, which is actually a wasp. If you find the tarantula's feeding habits unsettling, consider the life cycle of the tarantula hawk. Nearly the size of a hummingbird, this striking spider wasp features a metallic blue-black body and bold orange wings, commonly seen visiting flowers during summer and fall.
When ready to lay eggs, the female seeks out a tarantula, delivering a paralyzing sting before dragging the tarantula, often larger than herself, into a burrow. There, she lays a single egg on the still living host and seals the chamber. When the larva hatches, it feeds on the tarantula from the inside out.
Wow, the female tarantula hawk is a fearsome predator. Tarantulas have two primary defense mechanisms. They may bite if provoked, delivering a sting comparable to a bee sting. However, they are generally docile and rarely use their fangs except to subdue prey. The other defense mechanism is their urticating hairs. When threatened, a tarantula may rear up, raising its front legs and abdomen. It may also release irritating hairs from its abdomen, which embed in skin and cause discomfort through hundreds of microscopic barbs.
Unlike web-spinning spiders, tarantulas do not use silk to trap prey. Instead, they line their burrows with silk, and females spin protective coverings for their eggs. Tarantulas lack the third claw used by web builders for gripping silk. Instead, they have dense pads of specialized hairs, each splitting into hundreds of microscopic filaments called end feet, allowing them to climb vertical surfaces and even traverse ceilings.
Trail trivia. How many eyes does a tarantula have? 8. With 8 eyes, tarantulas still have poor eyesight. Like most spiders, they rely on finely tuned body hairs that detect vibrations, and they, quote, taste using sensory hairs near their mouths and feet. Their sense of smell likely comes from chemosensory pits on their feet. Trail trivia. Do all spiders have 8 eyes?
Nope. About 99% of spiders do have 8 eyes, but some have 6, 4, 2, and some even have no eyes at all. Tarantulas take nearly a decade to reach maturity. Males live for a brief period after mating, typically less than a year, and may be consumed by the female during or after the encounter. Trail trivia: how long can a female tarantula live?
Female tarantulas can live more than 20 years, making them among the longest-lived spiders on Earth. The word tarantula originally referred to the European wolf spider, named after the Italian town of Taranto. Folklore once held that its bite caused a condition called tarantism, which led to uncontrollable dancing, giving rise to the spirited folk dance, the tarantella.
Until recently, the species of tarantula found at Pinnacles had not been formally studied. Upcoming research will soon provide a scientific name for the local species, currently classified within the genus Aphanopelma.
It's common for people to fear spiders, or at least feel uneasy around them. I used to feel the same way until I had the chance to hold a tarantula named Rosie at the Butterfly Pavilion in Westminster, Colorado. That experience, along with learning more about spiders, helped ease my anxiety. One great way to become more comfortable with these fascinating creatures is to visit Pinnacles during tarantula mating season, when males can often be seen. Another fun option is the Tarantula Festival in La Junta, Colorado. This unique event features a parade, local vendors, educational exhibits, live art, and guided tarantula tours.
Trail trivia: what is the largest land bird in North America? The California condor.
The California condor, a triumph of conservation and a symbol of the Wild West. The California condor is one of North America's most iconic and endangered birds. Known for its immense wingspan, soaring flight, and dramatic conservation story, the condor holds a special place in both ecological history and human imagination. Once widespread across the continent, the California condor now inhabits a fraction of its historical range. But thanks to decades of intensive recovery efforts, its future is once again filled with hope.
The California condor is the largest land bird in North America, boasting a wingspan of nearly 10 feet and weighing up to 25 pounds. Adults are primarily black with striking white patches under the wings and a bald, pinkish-orange head and neck that deepen in color with age and emotional state. This lack of feathers is an adaptation for hygiene, allowing the condor to feed on carrion without fouling its plumage.
Condors are highly intelligent and social birds. They use thermal updrafts to soar for hours with minimal wing flapping, often reaching altitudes of over 15,000 feet. Their eyesight is exceptionally sharp, enabling them to locate carcasses from great distances. California condors do not hunt but feed exclusively on dead animals, playing a vital ecological role as nature's cleanup crew.
For many indigenous peoples of the American West, the condor has long been a powerful spiritual symbol. Tribes such as the Chumash regarded the condor as sacred, featuring it prominently in myths, dances, and ceremonies. The bird's dramatic appearance and soaring flight have inspired stories of power, renewal, and reverence.
Historically, the California condor ranged from British Columbia to Baja California and across the interior of the American West. However, human encroachment, habitat destruction, and poisoning led to a dramatic decline in its population during the 20th century.
By the 1980s, fewer than 30 California condors remained in the wild. The primary threats to their survival included habitat loss, lead poisoning from ingesting bullet fragments in animal carcasses, microtrash ingestion, and collisions with power lines. In 1987, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service made the controversial decision to capture the last wild condors and initiate a captive breeding program to save the species from extinction.
The California Condor Recovery Program has been one of the most ambitious and celebrated conservation efforts in history. Led by partnerships between federal and state agencies, zoos, indigenous nations, and nonprofit organizations, the program began with 27 individuals and has grown to a population of over 500 birds, with more than half now living in the wild.
Captive bred condors are released in several key locations across the U.S. and Mexico, including California, Arizona, Utah, and Baja California. Pinnacles National Park is one of the few sites where condors are regularly released and observed. Here, condors nest and soar among the rugged cliffs, often thrilling visitors with their dramatic aerial displays.
Biologists monitor condors closely, fitting them with wing tags and radio transmitters to track movements and health. The birds are regularly trapped for health checks, vaccinations, and to treat lead poisoning, which remains the leading cause of death among wild condors.
Despite the progress, California condors are still critically endangered. Pinnacles National Park plays a vital role in the recovery of the California condor. Since 2003, the park has been one of the most active release sites in collaboration with the Ventana Wildlife Society and other partners. The park's unique geology, thermal updrafts, and secluded nesting sites make it ideal for condor habitat.
Visitors to Pinnacles often have the chance to see condors in flight, especially from high vantage points such as the High Peaks Trail or the ridge above the Balconies Cliffs. Interpretive programs, condor spotting stations, and ranger-led talks help educate the public about the bird's story and how they can help protect them.
The California condor's journey from the brink of extinction to a cautiously hopeful recovery is a powerful testament to the impact of sustained conservation efforts. Continued public education, scientific research, and policy support are essential to ensure the species' long-term survival.
Every sighting of a condor in the wild is a reminder of what is possible when people come together to protect our shared natural heritage. As the California condor soars once more over the cliffs and canyons of the West, it carries with it a message of resilience, cooperation, and the enduring spirit of the wild.
Wild pig management at Pinnacles National Park. In contrast to preserving and saving a species, as was done with the California condor, Pinnacles National Park, like most national parks and natural areas, is in a battle to eradicate invasive species. Wild pigs were first seen at Pinnacles in the late 1960s, but their roots in California go back to the 1700s when Spanish settlers introduced domestic pigs. In 1925, European wild boars were brought to Monterey County for hunting and bred with feral pigs, producing hybrids that eventually spread into the park.
These invasive pigs are highly adaptable omnivores. They root through soil in search for food like acorns, berries, bulbs, insects, and even small animals. Their destructive foraging behavior damages native plants, spreads invasive species, erodes soil, and degrades water quality. Pigs also compete with wildlife for food and can spread diseases.
With high reproduction rates and few predators, their populations can grow rapidly. To stop their spread, Pinnacles constructed a 24-mile perimeter fence in 2003, enclosing over 14,000 acres. Wildlife experts removed pigs from inside the fence using humane ground-based methods.
An additional 9 miles of fencing was added in 2010 to protect sensitive habitats where the federally threatened California red-legged frogs breed. Today, over 33 miles of fence have been installed. Pinnacles remains committed to keeping the park pig-free. Staff regularly patrol and maintain the fence, ensuring the park's native ecosystems are protected for future generations.
Recreation and hiking. Hiking is the most popular activity in Pinnacles National Park, and the park offers over 30 miles of trails that cater to all levels of experience. One of the most iconic hikes is the High Peaks Trail, which provides sweeping views of the surrounding landscape and passes through narrow rock stairways carved directly into the volcanic formations. This challenging trail is not for the faint of heart, but rewards hikers with an unforgettable scenery.
Other notable hikes include the Bear Gulch Cave Trail, which leads through a talus cave filled with massive boulders and ends at Bear Gulch Reservoir, and the Balconies Cave Trail, which offers a more accessible cave experience, with stunning rock formations. These caves are seasonally closed to protect bat colonies, so checking their status in advance is recommended.
When we visited in 2022, it was my second time at Pinnacles. My first time, I visited the east entrance area and hiked Moses Spring and Rim Trail near the Bear Gulch parking area. It's a 2.2-mile loop that has extremely green mossy rocks and trees, a reservoir, and some awesome caves to climb through. Make sure to bring a headlamp. I saw a condor flying up above. During our time there on our Stargazer adventures in 2022, we explored the west entrance area of Pinnacles. We first hiked the Balconies Cliffs Cave Loop, which is a 2.4-mile round trip. It was an easy hike through the Pinnacles and forested area, and then a little bit of rock scrambling and skinny areas in the caves. It was a great hike.
Then we did the short Pruitt Point Trail, a 0.9-mile lollipop trail with elevation gain of just 70 feet. It was another easy trail with a scenic vista of the Pinnacles and surrounding mountains. This trail starts at the Visitor Center.
Rock climbing is another major draw, with routes for beginners and advanced climbers alike. The unique volcanic breccia offers a different climbing experience compared to granite-dominated areas like Yosemite.
Pinnacles National Park can be accessed from two main entrances, the east entrance near Hollister and the west entrance near Soledad. It's important to note that there is no road connecting the two entrances through the park, so visitors must plan accordingly. The east entrance features the park's main campground, visitor center, and easy access to the Bear Gulch area. This side is generally more developed and offers potable water, picnic areas, and ranger programs. The west entrance, while more remote, provides quick access to the Balconies area and is often less crowded.
No matter which entrance you choose, Pinnacles offers a peaceful retreat into a landscape shaped by fire and fault lines, nurtured by rain and time, and protected by generations who recognized its value. Whether you're watching a condor soar overhead, squeezing through ancient caves, or simply soaking in the silence of the high peaks, a visit to Pinnacles is a journey through the heart of California's natural and cultural heritage.
Before we leave you with the Junior Ranger activity, we wanted to share a quick update on our plans for the podcast and how we're balancing our love of this project with the rhythm of the seasons, family life, and our deep need to spend more time outdoors during this beautiful time of year.
Here in the Northern Hemisphere, summer is just around the corner, and like many of you, we're feeling the call of nature more strongly than ever. This year is especially meaningful for us as our daughter has started walking, exploring trails, and truly falling in love with the outdoors. It's an incredible thing to witness, and we want to soak up every moment of it.
With that in mind, this year we've made the decision to shift to 3 episodes per month instead of 4 during the summer and fall months. This change will allow us to spend more time outside as a family and continue nurturing the same love for nature that inspired this podcast in the first place. Let us be clear. Our excitement and passion for creating this podcast is stronger than ever. Each episode is a labor of love, and sharing stories, knowledge, and inspiration about the natural world brings us real joy. Our commitment to educating, advocating, and encouraging others to explore and protect wild spaces continues to grow each week.
We are so grateful to each of you who tunes in, whether you're hiking a trail, driving to work, or simply dreaming of your next outdoor escape. Thank you for your continued support and for finding inspiration in our episodes.
This is a special season of our life for our family, and we're choosing to embrace it fully. We're sharing our love of the outdoors with our daughter and giving her the gift of time in nature, a gift we believe is as important as any. We do plan to return to our regular schedule of 4 episodes per month, most likely sometime this winter, and we'll keep you posted. In the meantime, we encourage you to make the most of this vibrant season. Go outside, explore, and let nature fill your cup. Thanks again for being here with us. We truly love doing this, and we're excited for everything still to come.
Now, the Junior Ranger portion before we wrap up this episode. There are potentially thousands of species that call Pinnacles home. This makes it incredibly difficult to even skim the surface of talking about the park's inhabitants. We hope you enjoyed the plant and animal highlights we chose today. An interesting inhabitant of Pinnacles is the lichen population.
There are over 90 lichens at Pinnacles breaking down rocks. Lichens are a complex life form that is a symbiotic partnership of 2 separate organisms, fungus and algae. The dominant partner is the fungus, which gives the lichen the majority of its characteristics, from its talus shape to its fruiting bodies. Lichen makes its food from the sunlight and absorbs nutrients from the air and rain.
Lichen looks like splotches of paint on rocks or hairy beards growing on trees. Do you live in a place where lichen grows? If you do, next time you are outside, find a rock or tree that has lichen on it and observe it. It is easy to confuse lichen with moss. If you see tiny leaves, then it is probably a moss.
The Pinnacles Junior Ranger Handbook highlights lichen and has a place to draw the lichen you observe. We encourage you to seek out the Junior Ranger Handbook on the NPS website, complete it, and send it in to receive your Pinnacles Junior Ranger badge. The final section of the handbook is a fun, thought-provoking activity. Create your own national park.
Think of a place near you that you think should be a national park or national park unit. Is it a natural site, cultural site, or both? What would you name this national park? Why should this place be a national park? Have fun creating the next national park.
We hope you had fun learning all about Pinnacles National Park with us. It is a remarkable blend of geological wonder, ecological richness, and cultural significance. From its dramatic spires and talus caves to its thriving biodiversity, the park offers a living laboratory for science and a sanctuary for nature. Whether experienced through a solitary sunrise in the high peaks or a family picnic beneath coast live oaks, Pinnacles invites reflection, discovery, and a deeper appreciation for the wild places that sustain us all.
If you haven't visited Pinnacles yet, we hope this inspired you to add it to your bucket list. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, share, and follow us for more outdoor adventures. And to all you Junior Rangers out there, good luck on earning your badge. And hey, if you've earned a Junior Ranger badge recently, send us a picture. We'd love to see it.
And if you want, feel free to share your latest story from your time in a national park unit. Who knows? Maybe we will mention it in one of our upcoming episodes. Be sure to include in the email that you grant us permission to share your story. I will include our email address, npjrpodcast@gmail.com, in our show notes. And feel free to follow us on our adventures on Instagram, @npjrpodcast. Until next time, happy trails. And remember, the earth is ours to explore and protect. So let's get out there and do it.
Explore.
Learn.
And protect.